Jeremy Tremain Williams is scheduled to be executed by lethal injection next week for the rape and murder of 5-year-old Kamarie Holland. In December of 2021, Kamarie's mother, Christy Seipel, agreed to let Williams sexually abuse her daughter in exchange for money. Court records show the negotiated amount was $2,500 in exchange for raping her daughter, a sum that was later negotiated down to $1,300. A payment Williams never made to her. Investigators believe Christie was seeking the money to purchase drugs. Williams took the little girl to an abandoned house in Phoenix City, Alabama, where he raped and sodomized her, forced her to use methamphetamine, filmed the abuse, and then strangled her to death. He continued to sexually assault her body after she was dead. It was just after 6 a.m. on a Monday, and the Columbus Police Department in Georgia got the kind of call that sends an entire agency scrambling. Christy had reported that when she woke up that morning, her 5-year-old daughter Kamarie was not in her bed. Every available officer at the Columbus Police Department in Georgia was out looking for her. Tragically, the search came to a devastating end when Kamarie's brutalized and strangled body was discovered dumped outside an abandoned property in Phoenix City, Alabama. Police apprehended Williams before discovering what had become of Kamarie, but he declined to cooperate. Edenfield and fellow property crime detective Braden Dommins questioned individuals acquainted with Williams. One individual made a disturbing remark that haunted them for years. If something has happened to that little girl, she's going to be at this house in Phoenix City. The residence belonged to the Williams family but had been deserted. The house was located in a different jurisdiction and seemed like a remote possibility, but Detective Dobbins persuaded Sergeant Edenfield to pursue the lead. Braden looked at me and said, "Sarge, I tell you, if you had seen the look on this lady's face, everyone else was tied up. His heart felt it, and me knowing and trusting him, and the two of us said, 'Let's go.'" Hoping Kamarie might still be alive, the pair rushed to the residence only to discover the child's body discarded in an outdoor cellar. Her remains were positioned against a wall in such a manner that Edenfield initially mistook her for a doll. Edenfield said the image of Kamarie's body will never leave her mind. For a long time, it just ate Braden and I up. Could we have done more? Could we have gotten there sooner? The assistant district attorney told me that by the time we got to the house, she had already passed, but it's still in your mind. You what-if yourself to death. The jury convicted Williams of murder, sodomy, sexual abuse of a child, production of obscene material involving a child, human trafficking, and abuse of a corpse. Should the execution proceed, he will become the first prisoner put to death in Alabama this year and the 22nd in the United States. Throughout his 2024 trial, Williams instructed his attorneys to mount no defense on his behalf. Upon receiving the death penalty, the killer commanded his legal team not to file an appeal. That's why Williams is being executed 5 years after the crime. Because most of the time, death row inmates are only executed after many years or decades of drawn-out appeals. Yet Williams has never shown remorse for his actions or offered any rationale for the crime. His words were that he was just sick, and that's it. He didn't elaborate. Kamarie was 5 years old. She never got the chance to grow up because the person who should have protected her handed her over to a predator for drug money. Though she was born to a mother who did an unspeakable thing to her, Kamarie Williams had a large, loving family with many siblings and a devoted dad who always called her princess. Her dad, Corey Holland, had full custody of Kamarie, but sometimes let her stay with her mom. It's the biggest regret of his life. Corey was sobbing on the witness stand as he recalled how much he loved Kamarie. "You took my little girl from me," as Christy sat emotionless and stone-faced at the entire trial. Kamarie's older sister, who was roughly 9 at the time, had many in the courtroom in tears as she talked about how sweet her little sister was and how much she loved and missed her. Kamarie's dad has posted about his grief often on Facebook. You made life seem so much better with all your charisma and love you showed for me and everyone else around you, he wrote in 2022. And just last month, I miss you painfully, Princess. Kamarie was only 5, but she made a big impact on the world around her, Kamarie's aunt said. She liked dancing in the living room, going down slides on the playground, and had a larger-than-life personality and always commandeered family video chats. Kamarie was special, and especially to her father, to my brother. My niece didn't deserve what happened to her. She didn't deserve for her life to be cut short as it did. While Chrissy Seipel is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to the human sex trafficking of her own daughter, Edenfield believes that she should probably be there right next to Williams. 5 years on, Williams is scheduled to be executed by lethal injection at the Holman Correctional Facility in Atmore, Alabama, on Thursday, August 13th.